I think we were like, what, 4 shows in? And I'm like, I quit.
Right.
I'm done. And
6, I think.
It was episode 6. And I still remember Marin has quit the show.
Right.
You know, and we worked through that. And needless to say, it's gone by so fast. We're like on episode 20.
We're approaching 4 or 5 months now.
Right. And so, yeah, doing the math, we've been doing this for 4 or 5 months. And needless to say, we're spending a lot more time with each other too. And you know, and doing all these little things, and you know, the you got your scooter, and you know, you come over and we hang out and blah blah, you know, we do all these things. So, you know, we're getting, and I said this in the beginning of the show, we really don't know each other all that well. So I think now we're starting to see each other in our you know, our walls have come down. You know. And I think one of the things that really hit me today is when we were talking, because let's face it, we both got to a point where you were just like, look, I'm gonna leave for a little while, and we'll come back in the show. I can't remember exactly how you put it, but you said, but just remember, you know, let's not throw away something that we've invested so much time in. And that kind of struck a chord with me. And then when we came back, we didn't even really talk to each other. I was doing my thing. I was walking around doing my thing, and then you were talking with my son and stuff. And then I said, "Hey, well, it's like 4:00, dude. We got to do either we're gonna do the show or we're not gonna do the show." And you're like, "Yeah, okay." So we came in here. We started doing our show, and then afterwards,
the Saturday show.
The Saturday show. And
we did not refer back to the Wednesday show. No, we pretended like that whole conversation didn't happen.
Right. And I'll tell you, I was cool in the beginning of I was cool when, you know, when the first show first started and we talked a little bit and stuff. And then as the show
let's describe what happened. Wednesday show got put together.
Right.
Marin, his recordings got corrupted.
Right. The first recordings.
And then you proceeded to do another one, didn't you?
Yes.
And that got corrupted too.
That one got corrupted.
And you got really frustrated with it. Yeah. And I told you, look, I'll be coming over after work. And he's like, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to try to get this put together. And a part of me was like, well, I kind of want to be there, but if you are feeling the pressure to get this done, and mind you, it's day of
the show
when we were supposed to release it.
My deadline was 6, and then all of a sudden I made it midnight.
Right. And we had days prior to put it together.
It's very rare that we miss deadlines. It has to be something that that's really fucked us up, that where we miss a deadline. But we're usually Sunday 6:00. That show hits. And we're ready to go. And I know there's a few listeners out there that are looking forward to that 6:00. Maybe 1, maybe 2. I don't know. But, you know, so that's what I feed on that, you know, that I really do.
Well, right. Consistency, and that should be.
Yeah, for sure. And then you were like, well, it's not that big a deal, Marin. I'm like, well, yeah, it kind of is a big deal, because you asked me when we were first supposed to launch. I said, okay, and I even announced it to the audience. I said, okay, next Wednesday it'll be 2 weeks. I said, in 2 weeks we'll have a Wednesday show.
I called you on that too.
And then you said, are you making that official? And I go, well, yeah. Well, are you ready for it? Well, fucking, I don't have a choice. I just said we were gonna do it, so let's do it. And so we went with it. I don't want to get into everything, because there's a lot of behind the scenes that went on, and we both admitted, you know, where we went wrong and whatnot.
But when it came down to it, you had put a good 8 hours that one day when you were supposed to release.
Yeah, a total of like 30 hours.
Well, let alone that day where you're overwhelmed and you're like, you know, here, just take this recording. I've put it into its final cut. Here, take it and upload it.
Let me say this one thing.
Okay.
When I'll tell you where I really got grounded, when shit really came into play for me, when after we did this last recording and we did the commercial, right? And I was feeling it. I was like, you know, this is what it's about, man. Right. This is what I love. You know, I like that direction. I like it when we're creating something, when we're putting something together, when we take a concept and we go with it, and we run, and in the end we have our package ready to go in the box. That's what I love, you know. And then afterwards, I don't know how the conversation got started or whatnot, but then you said, Marin, I was scared that you were like gonna freak out, like you're just, you know, you've been like that lately. You know, And that really, I was like, wow, I don't like my friends to feel like that. That's not something. It's like, and I know I always say this, but it's like, what's the point of being sober if you're still going to be labeled a dick or unreliable or unlikable, And I don't want that, especially not from somebody that I'm going to spend 10 to 20 hours a week with, I mean, that's not cool. And so that kind of opened my eyes up a little bit, and I said, you know what, maybe I should just kind of mellow out a little bit, because even you had made the reference. Listen, Marin, do you remember the other night when you drove in your driveway and you smacked the chairs and the tables, and that's like sporadic behavior from and it's like I just been a real loose cannon lately, and then what really opened my eyes, I'll tell you this, and you can keep this or not, but when you had come and you said, well, that night I came here, and you're like grinding your teeth and your eyes are like bugging, and you're like just I thought you were high. I thought you were on something, and I'm like, wow. And I haven't told you, don't ever think that, but I look at it from your point of view, and it's like, fuck, I guess, and you even said, dude, why are you grinding your teeth? And I'm like, what? And I didn't realize it, but fucking, and I even told you, I said, fuck, maybe I drank too many Brisks. I don't know.
Also, you have to mention the fact that you are on medications because you had a fucking kidney transplant.
Of course, of course.
And of course your body's reacting to that. And that was part of my thinking. So,
right.
And that's really what kind of kept me centered, like anxiety and pressure, and plus the new medications.
The pressure was the biggest thing, I'll tell you. The pressure was the biggest thing, because as much as I didn't want it to affect me, I mean, and you said that even too, we subliminally, we're that's what we're going on. If we don't have that subliminal thought in the back of our minds, then everybody's shitting unicorns, we're all fucking happy-go-lucky. So to have that in the back of my mind and be like, I gotta get the show out, the show out,
Right.
And again, and I know I always say this, we talked about this. That's good. We should make that a segment. We talked about this, and I said, what I got offended by was the fact that you didn't air the show, and I didn't take into consideration that, well, maybe the show maybe it wasn't up to par, I'm used to just going and doing and getting it done, and I would say 9 times out of 10 the outcome is always good. It's something that's good, whether it be building a house, working on a car, or doing a podcast. But it's not worth it if that one time the show's not up to par to where it's supposed to be. It's not worth taking that chance, And I even said, dude, it's like, because it was like a 12-minute clip. I stand by it still, I do. But again, I don't have the experience that you have, and so it's if the tape ever gets played and the audience hears it,
you do realize that having mentioned it, we've made it an archive.
Right.
It has to go up eventually.
And it's what it is. It's a 12-minute compilation of. Is that how you say it? Copulation, or is that?
I wouldn't say that. I would say it's.
It's the highlights.
Excerpts.
It's or the excerpts. I'll say it in my words. What I did was I took.
Of course he will.
I took an. How long was the show altogether?
64 minutes, I think.
Okay, it was a 64-minute show, and I compressed it to 12 fucking minutes. With bells and whistles and dings.
Literally, bells and whistles.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, you can play some of those if you like, and they can get an idea of.
I'm not going to take away from the majesty of your recording that will eventually be aired.
They've heard the sound effects before, but basically, it was when you hear it, when I hear it, I go, oh, fuck. That's how my mind was working that day.
That's how your mind works normally. No. It's like herding cats, Marin. That's how your mind works.
The voices in my head will disagree. But so when I hear it, it's a sporadic, incoherent medley of us talking on like 6 or 7 different subjects, and literally with bells and whistles in between and gums.
God, that's exactly what it is. And what blows my mind is that you're like, this is what I'm trying to put out there.
Yeah.
And it's chaos.
So, yeah, and I still, and I don't know as much as I should about the whole podcasting. Luckily, I have my cohort in crime here he's like, look I know your feelings are going to get hurt, but it's not going out there. Not like this. When we do this show, we do it with a passion, and we do it with a love, and we do it with the sense of we want to make you people laugh. We want to keep you coming back.
At the very least, amused.
Yeah, I said this from the very beginning. The idea for me for this show is to enlighten the people and keep the funny. As time goes on, we start realizing, hey, we can do this. Hey, we can do this.
Right.
Wow, we can do this.
Right.
And now we have these little segments that we do. The whole YouTube thing, the voiceover YouTube theater.
Right.
It's fucking getting more hits than the show itself.
Right.
I mean, this is something that I'm proud of. We did it. So and it showcases our talents, what little talents we do fucking have. It showcases it. The commercials we do, the segments, the trivia games that we come out. These are all things. I go back every now and then and I listen to the show just to get an idea of it and try and grow on that. Looking back on all those shows that we've done We've done 19 shows, and from the first show up until the 19th show, it's my belief now, maybe not earlier because my ego was in the way, it's my belief now that if we would have put that episode 20 Wednesday show out, I think it would have took us back to maybe episode 1 or 2. Because it was just that, it was that, I don't want to say it was awful. If and when it ever does get aired, I know there's going to be one person who likes it, which is me. Yeah. And
absolutely.
I think here's my thing. I think the secret to listening to that show is, I think we need to play it like after about 5 years. And then people will go, that's the greatest thing they ever put out. Yeah. Because they know exactly who the fuck I am.
Right. Right.
But we expected so much more.
That's exactly.
But we discussed it, and again, so just for the viewers out there, the few of you who are avid listeners, the Wednesday show will continue. It's under, like they say, it's under construction right now. We're trying to reformat the whole show. We're not going to do a spitball session now and figure it out. Right. But eventually, when a show does come out, it's going to be the one thing I know it's going to be, and that's going to be 30 minutes or less. It's going to be a show 30 minutes or less. We're going to have fun with it, and we hope you guys tune in. And we apologize, or at least I apologize on both of our behalves. I don't know how many of you were looking forward to that show, but I know I was.
I absolutely was.
Yeah. No, you were looking forward to a Wednesday show, not that Wednesday show.
Okay. I'll give you that, absolutely.
Because I could just see your wheels going, dude, do you realize what you've done?
Right.
Do you realize what you're
going to do to the show with this?
We've taken it to a pinnacle of about 2 inches off the ground. You're going to take us down a peg. We can't have that.
Well, at least you know that the filter that I am presenting is I'm going to try to put the best product that we can come up with as amateurs out there.
Absolutely.
You have that license too. If you feel like, I'm not feeling this, dude, let's cut this, let's edit this shit out. Well, I'm going with it.
Yeah, of course. And again, you've trusted me with a couple shows to edit them and upload them, and you've had your say on afterwards. Well, you should have taken out this us or O's or whatnot, And we've actually loosened up a little on that, So we're getting better at what we're doing.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody's gonna hear this and be like, you know what? That's not really all that funny. But we're trying to be as real as possible as we can with this show. We're not some fucking puppets. We're not monkeys on a fucking barrel trying to dance a jig for a fucking pickle or a nickel. We're 2 fucking guys out of Fontana, California. We're in a computer shop, dubbing as a studio, and this is what we do every week. You know, we put ourselves out there, whether it be good or bad, indifferent or happy as fuck. This is what we do.